Stop giving a shit. Stop giving a shit. This message I've explained in many different ways, but I think to really penetrate the person across the screen, in simple terms, it's to stop giving a shit, right? I don't give a shit. People walking while I'm recording this video, while I'm eating this apple in a really weird way, I don't give a shit. I don't care what people think. It's called the IDGAF mentality. I don't give a F mentality. Compliment that stranger. Record that video. Talk to that girl. Give that tip. Do the thing your soul desires. Your heart desires. And just don't give a shit. You know? It's so freeing. It is so freeing. It's a practice to stop giving a shit. To stop giving a shit what people think. To break free, break through those constructs that we all have. And the use of external substances can do that. And I think they have their place sometimes. Whether it's psychedelics, smoking a joint, having a few beers. And you realize you're like, whoa, why am I caring so much about everything? I'm just a human. I'm just like everybody else. The mind wants to separate us all. But if I'm just like everybody else, why should I care so much what I do and what people perceive me as? Because people are going to perceive you and judge you no matter what. And you learn the more influence you have, the more people are going to judge you, the more people are going to pay attention to you. But also, you start to become humbled and realize that there's something called the spotlight effect. Whoa, a spotlight effect, meaning you think people care. You're inflating the importance that people have on you, that people perceive you as. In other words, you're posting that video on social media to your few thousand followers, thinking that at least 1,000 people are going to be seeing this, thinking about this, commenting, sharing, saving, etc., etc., etc. When in reality is that video is going to get maybe like 1,000 views, 2,000 views, okay? 50 people are going to like it. 5 people are going to share it. And these are the metrics on the surface. And how many people are really going to like actually watch the full video and judge you and think so much about you? People are too fixated on their own lives. And it's very freeing to know that people don't give a shit about you. And that's why you got to stop giving a shit, because people don't care about you. Your family cares about you. I hope so. Maybe you have good friends that care about you. But even then, they're working on their own shit, bro. They're working on their own shit. So stop caring what people think. Practice that. Meditate in public. Just cold approach people. Whether it's to find a partner, like to talk to girls, or just to talk to people. Because you get inspired by every conversation, by every interaction. You never know what that leads to. You know what I mean? You don't need to have an end goal always. Just talk to people, compliment people, and see what comes back. It's a law of exchange. As within, so without. If you exchange something, if you're giving, you will receive. If you're giving money, you will receive money, or in other forms of energy. You know what I mean? It's all energy at the end of the day. That's why when you understand the energy that you're putting out, the more you understand that really, like, the more you have this like mentality of just not caring enough about things, because you know that at the end of the day, nothing really matters. People are so up here. And even if you take a step further and somebody, for whatever reason, is caring so much about you, that tells you more about them than it does about you. Everything's a mirror. So you watching this video right now and perceiving me, maybe I'm triggering, or maybe I'm not making sense, or maybe I am making sense, whatever. That's just a reflection of you. So I'm going to be me. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to share what's coming to my mind, and you're going to perceive me however you want. I don't care if you want to unsubscribe or subscribe, comment, or, leave a hate comment. Like, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, I can't control that. So I would say stop giving a shit. If I want to go a step further, stop giving a shit about things you cannot control. So, meaning like, focus on the cause, not the effect. I've talked about this many times before. Cause is internal state, internal belief system, internal operating system. It's what you're thinking, your belief system and all that. The effect extends outwards into action, into the byproduct of doing something, like posting that video. Surrender to the results. Like, don't care enough about how well it performs, because that is the effect. So I mean, there's a cause and effect, and you can break that down like in little parts. Like goes from like cause, belief system, effect, action, but then cause could be the action as well on a physical plane, and then the effect is what people perceive of you, if that makes sense. But cause and effect, to simplify things, we'll just bring it down to the physical plane, and we'll say cause is your action, what you can control, and effect is how people perceive you, how people judge you. So the more you're able to surrender to the outside world externally, the more you're able to just like consistently create and be authentic and be you, and have work feel like play. You know what I mean? Have work feel like play, which is huge. You're working hard. Other people think you're working hard, which you technically are, but you're at a point where it's so effortless that it's just play. So you're not really working at the end of the day. You're just being you, and you're getting paid by being you. But this all starts with stop giving a shit. The last video I just made was talking about, how you gotta rewire your beliefs about money, and money's unlimited, money comes to me, all this is all great. But at the end of the day, like, I think what's even more powerful is just like stop giving a shit about everything. Because that funnels into detaching, to surrendering, to letting go, to just like being you, to flowing through life and letting things come to you. And, understanding that this all kind of relates to the laws of the universe, right? As within, so without. So if you stop giving a shit, then that's going to completely alter your lens of reality. And that's how you're going to attract people that are also free-flowing just like you. You're not going to attract people that are going to be so rigid in their belief system and rigid in their way they perceive people, and people who are triggering or get triggered by things or super judgmental. You're going to attract people that are just like chilling just like you. So you attract the right people too when you stop giving a shit, which is huge. You know what I mean? Stop giving a shit. It's freeing. It feels good. There's probably people like maybe watching me record this video, because I'm in a public area, but I don't give a shit. And it feels good. It feels really good. Your heart begins to open, and subconsciously these patterns start to change. They start to rewire. Then you're really shifting identities. You're shifting timelines. You're increasing your level of consciousness, your awareness. Like, you're more aware than ever, but at the same time, you're just like letting go of everything. You're just like, okay, well, I gotta make this video, and I don't care if I'm in a public setting. I gotta meditate in public, and I'm gonna do that. I'm going to pray before I eat, and I'm gonna close my eyes and make a prayer before I eat, and I'm not gonna care what people think. These are all scenarios in my life that I'm talking about right now, by the way. And I'm sure you've been there before too, where in your mind there's constant chatter of like, oh shit, like these people aren't aligned like me, they don't understand what I'm doing, I'm kind of gonna be a weirdo if I'm gonna do this, and you're giving it more energy. Surrender. Stop giving a shit. And practice this. Practice it with the right people, ideally in the right environments. And you go back to, older environments, with older patterns, and you're able to implement the same system into that. Anyways, yeah, that's a wrap for this video. And if this resonates with you and you feel called to chat together about how it can be in service to you through life design, through conscious work, etc., links down below. See you in the next one.